Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we've got a story for you that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a detective novel. We're talking about a meticulously planned murder that completely unraveled because of one tiny, impossible clue.
All right, so let's set the scene. It's late, 11:47 p.m. to be exact, and like a million other stories, this one starts in a convenience store. You see a hooded figure walk in, grab a pack of gum, pay, and walk out. Super mundane, right? You wouldn't even notice it. But trust me, that one little moment, it's the key to everything.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? Because shortly after that person leaves, a murder is discovered. And the police, they have next to nothing to go on. So how on earth can a single piece of gum solve a murder? How does it become the key that unlocks this whole conspiracy?
Okay, let's dive into the crime scene. This is what greeted Detective Morris. And right off the bat, he knew something was off. This wasn't your typical robbery gone wrong, not a crime of passion. No, this was something else entirely.
So, the security footage gives them a super tight timeline. The hooded figure, in and out in less than a minute. Then, just 19 minutes later, the victim's body is discovered. That's it. A tiny 20-minute window is all the police have to work with.
And the scene itself was just bizarre. The cashier, a guy named David Morrison, was killed cleanly. No signs of a struggle. And get this, the cash register was full. So robbery was clearly not the motive. That left only one person of interest. That hooded figure. The last customer. And this brings us to that gum wrapper. You see, the detective just couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right with that super simple, super boring transaction. He had to look closer. So he re-watches the footage over and over, and he spots something weird. The suspect, who's wearing gloves, handles the cash with only their fingertips. It was this really precise, careful movement, almost like they were trying very hard not to leave a certain kind of mark. And that little detail sparked an idea. This is what led Morris to give a really strange command: run prints on the gum wrapper. Now, his partner thought he was crazy. The suspect wore gloves, there shouldn't be any prints, but Morris insisted. See, he wasn't looking for prints left during the crime. He was looking for prints left before. Well, the lab results came back. And they didn't just give them a lead, oh no. They sent this investigation into a completely impossible direction. It turned a murder case into, well, a ghost story. Here's the paradox they were staring at. The fingerprint on that wrapper belonged to a man named Marcus Chen. The problem? Well, according to every official record, Marcus Chen had died 6 months ago. And the file on Marcus Chen was absolutely ironclad. We're talking a fatal car accident, a body identified through dental records, and a cremation 2 weeks later. There was just no room for error. So how could a dead man's fingerprint possibly show up at a fresh crime scene? Detective Morris starts digging into Chen's old file, and that's when he finds it. In a photo of the body from the accident report, there's a really distinctive tattoo on the left wrist. And in a flash, he rewinds the security footage. And there it is. As the hooded figure pays for the gum, their sleeve rides up just enough to reveal the exact same tattoo. Okay, so the impossible was now suddenly possible. Marcus Chen, or at least his ghost, was at the crime scene. But that just opened up a whole new can of worms. Why kill this cashier? The answer started to come together as the detective connected the dots between the suspect and the victim's pasts. Turns out, the victim, David Morrison, and our dead suspects, Marcus Chen, were not strangers at all. They used to be business partners, and they had a really nasty falling out. 5 years ago, a lawsuit over a stolen patent had completely ruined Morrison and made Chen a very wealthy man. And just like that, you've got a powerful motive for revenge. This led Detective Morris to the next, absolutely terrifying question. If Marcus Chen is alive, then whose body was identified with his dental records and cremated 6 months ago? This case wasn't just about Morrison's murder anymore. It was about uncovering a previous one. So now let's watch as this entire intricate plan just falls apart. A plot that was years in the making, designed to be the perfect crime, and it's all undone because one detective refused to accept the impossible. And then Morris has this huge revelation. All this time, he'd been looking for a mistake, some flaw in the evidence. But then it hit him. The evidence wasn't flawed at all. The fingerprint, the tattoo, they were left on purpose. The killer wanted the police to chase a ghost. The crime wasn't meant to be unsolved, it was meant to be unsolvable. And the whole thing just snapped into place. 6 months ago, Marcus Chen faked his own death. He had help from an accomplice who falsified dental records on some other body. Once he was legally dead, he came back for revenge against David Morrison. He committed the murder and then deliberately left clues pointing directly to himself, knowing the police would hit a complete dead end chasing a man who was officially dead and cremated. But the whole plan had one fatal flaw, and it wasn't a piece of evidence, it was pure arrogance. Chen was so confident in his impossible alibi that he never, ever imagined a detective would just ignore the official record and choose to believe the evidence right there in front of him, the fingerprint and the tattoo on the man in that video. You know, it all came down to a simple, undeniable piece of logic that just collapsed the entire conspiracy. The plan was brilliant, sure, but as Detective Morris put it, it was all built on one impossible idea. It's just a powerful reminder, you know? Sometimes the most complex problems have the simplest solutions, hidden right there in plain sight. It kind of makes you wonder, what small clues are we all missing every single day? And what truths could they reveal if we only knew